Supreme Court ruling leaves a lot of questions for both people who were let go from their jobs because of the vaccine mandates and the businesses themselves.
And there's also a big part of this for healthcare workers we're going to look into. At 4:30, we're going to be joined by constitutional law expert Dan Eaton to help sort some of this out for us.
Essential workers are speaking out today as millions across the country whose job does not provide paid sick days are having to choose between their paycheck and their health.
And that is no choice. The state paid for COVID sick time last year, but that benefit ended in September. Now, some essential workers are trying to change that. CBS 8's Heather Hope is live at a school in Claremont with that story today. Heather?
Yes, and collectively we heard from a bunch of these frontline workers, some teachers, some nurses, some food service workers, all exclaim how now is the time that they really need the 2 paid off weeks for COVID, the supplemental, in addition to the benefits that they already have, just to get through the week and just to make sure that others don't continue to spread the virus.
I, like most educators, receive a finite number of sick days per school year. When those days are gone, they're gone.
We are the so-called frontline workers, but we don't receive any benefits involved with the risks involved with our work. We feed our communities and we go to work during the pandemic. We hope our elected officials will take this step forward for us.
Right now, while I'm off, I have to use PTO, also known as paid time off. If I run out of this PTO, I will not be paid unless I go on medical leave.
That was a registered nurse battling COVID right now, saying he's almost out of PTO. Today, essential workers joined on a Zoom call with a state senator and assemblywoman to urge the California legislature to bring back the 2 weeks of supplemental COVID-19 paid sick leave. They say this will ensure workers can take time off they need to recover instead of showing up to work sick and further spreading the virus. Since paid COVID sick leave under Senate Bill 95 expired last September, many workers have only had access to the state-mandated 3 paid sick days, which is not enough time to recover or quarantine. Lawmakers express urgency in getting a new law passed.
This is our policy in the state of California, that we should have paid sick leave for our workforce. We've already implemented the policy once. It needs to be implemented again immediately. That
federal funding is no longer available. So what we have before us is an opportunity with the $46 billion surplus in the state budget, an opportunity for the governor, for the Senate, and for the Assembly to be creative in terms of what does this look like if we're going to move it forward.
And that was Assembly member and woman of Los Angeles, Wendy Carrillo. She's saying, again, there's not funding from the federal government in order to do this, and there's currently not a law in the books for this. And if to have it done, it will take action from the governor as well as from the Assembly and from the state Senate to make something happen.
Well, Heather, let's just go back to that point you just made. Has the governor responded to this and possibly reinstating that COVID sick leave that again expired back in September?
And lawmakers who have been in talks with the governor say that, yes, he has addressed it, saying he would like to do some kind of early action, but left it at that, hasn't said much more. So people are kind of waiting in limbo as far as should they draft something right now, should they go back to what's already existing with Senate Bill 95 in order to try to get some momentum and get something going.
All right, Heather Hope reporting live, and I know a lot of people who do have PTO, maybe they got COVID on the job and they're not happy about the fact that they have to use their own time off to pay for their illness that they got at work.
Tapping into some of that, yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll keep you updated, especially if the governor does respond and does put something back into place anytime soon.
Yeah.